All right, good morning, Who Dat Nation. This is the host CB, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your Thursday morning. It's getting close to the weekend and almost back to some Saints football action. For the ones that's been following me with these mini segments, know that I do one per week. Basically, what I do, I come up with a topic that's in sync of what's going on with our Saints. Then I will, go into depth about it and answer the question. So the question I came up with this week, following these first two games, specifically the Raiders game, is will Sean Payton convert back into being a aggressive play caller? That is a very important question because in my opinion, I believe, the lack of him doing this have allowed us to be bounced. That I'm not gonna say this was the only reason, but this was a huge factor in us getting bounced, from the playoffs. We wasn't able to get a offensive burst. As you can see with Taysom, where I get more into that. I won't be on here long, but I get more into Taysom. But yes, that's what I'm going to talk about. Will Sean Payton be able to convert back into being a aggressive play caller? But what I want to do right quick is remind you guys of what offense he came to the New Orleans Saints with in 2006. When he came to the Saints in 2006, he brought the vertical offense with him. The vertical offense is designed to basically stretch a defense with the deep ball. That's like the driving force of what the vertical offense is designed to do. It's designed to stretch your defense, you know, deeply with the deep ball, and it allows the defense to pretty much you guessing because I mean if you're able to effectively run this type of offense, that can put the defense in a bad predicament. So this is the style of offense he came to New Orleans with, and during that time, he was really effective with this offense. I would give you a few names of some former receivers we had, and what numbers they did with this, as far as yards per catch. As you guys know, Devery Henderson back in 2006, Sean's first year, he had 23.3 yards per catch. So on average, he was averaging 23 yards per catch. That wasn't no short dump, no short 5 yard out routes. This was deep passes. This was based off of them getting him the ball deep. Whether it was post, deep corner, deep post route, vertical routes, whatever, he was eating off of, that's how he was getting the ball. And he was considered our deep threat. I will go to Robert Meacham. Robert Meacham was another guy. In 2008, he had 24.1 yards per catch. I will say that was based off of 12 catches. But 2009, he had 16 yards per catch. 2011, he had 15.5 yards per catch. If a receiver is averaging 15 or more yards per catch, in my opinion, that is considered to me being a somewhat of a deep threat. And as you guys know, Devery Henderson specifically and Robert Meacham specifically were our main deep threats, during most of Sean's tenure with us. So I will go on to another guy, Lance Moore. Lance Moore in 2012, he averaged 16 yards per catch. And Kenny Stills, 2013, he averaged 20 yards per catch. 2014, 15 yards per catch. The reason I gave you guys these type of numbers is because just to show you the effectiveness of what Sean, you know, of what Sean was doing with this, vertical offense. He was being hell of aggressive with this offense, specifically, in the passing game. He was being real aggressive. We would start out the game, play actions, boom, throwing a shot downfield, to Devery, whether it's Devery, Meacham, that's what we was thriving off of. And you could say, what about the run game in 2009? When you're able to thrive off of deep balls like that, that just open up the run game. So you have the deep ball going for you, and then Sean was able to get, three backs. He was really the first coach that had, that started like the three back system, have using three backs. So we was able to do that. Well, he was able to do that. You getting the deep ball off. Now you're able to have a good run game going and screen game. That's why the receivers was eating, in the screen game, the swing routes, because it opened everything up and defenses couldn't mess with us. And during a long time in Sean's career, we had at least a top five passing offense due to that, due to us being effective with stretching the defense, which leads us to this point now where we're at with Drew Brees. Drew Brees, well, let me answer this question first. Which leads me back to the question: will Sean convert back to being an aggressive play caller? I hope he converts back to being an aggressive play caller, but if he does do that, Drew Brees isn't the answer for that. So what we're gonna have to do, what Sean is gonna have to do, and this is just my opinion, you know, I said Tuesday night on the post game show, I said Taysom Hill has to throw 5 to 7 yards, 5 to 7 passes per game. That's excluding him being, in the offense for the, the read options and, you know, little quarterback sneaks and stuff. Taysom Hill is going to have to throw the ball 5 to 7 times a game. I'm talking about dropping back, trying to attempt a pass. Now, by doing that, that will allow defenses to be more suspicious of, when Taysom going in the game, if he passed the ball, he looking for the deep route. They can do that. Yeah, they're going to catch on to that. If he moved like that, if Sean, put Taysom in to do, particularly for the deep routes. But Taysom Hill is able to, utilize his feet and to get some type of positive yards. It won't specifically be an incompletion if they cover the deep routes well, or just cover all our receivers well. When he's back there passing, he's going to give us something. But like I said about the playoffs, the way we're running the offense now in the passing game with, these cross routes, to me is looking more like a West Coast type of offense now. Um, because as far as on the vertical side of things, the seam route, we're really not enforcing that like that, as of late. We definitely not enforcing the deep ball route, but seam routes can still be enforced. They don't have to be deep, but I hadn't been seeing a lot of those type of routes where catches made. So right now I'm starting to see more of a West Coast type of offense where it's just, a good run and pound game. Well, if we commit to it, it would be that along with some good crossing routes. Just a bunch of crossing routes. But specifically, ours is within, 10 to 20 yards with crossing routes and out routes. But I think Sean, he needs to get back to what he came down here with that vertical offense. We can get back to it, but not Sean, but Drew Brees isn't going to be able to do that, and that's okay, you know. And I know as of late we've been criticizing. Well, some has been somewhat criticizing Brees. Now, like I said, as far as these games, he do get his share of blame, but far as criticizing him to the extent that some are, far as his arm, I mean, we kind of knew this. Sean knew this about Brees' arm. I'm going to give it about 2016, 2017, really around Brandon Cooks last year. I think around the time Brandon Cooks left, the year after he left, I believe that's when Brees' arm started to take a hit like that, if not a little earlier. I'm gonna give it 2016, 2017. So Sean had all of this time to adjust the offense, and we had Taysom Hill at the time. So he was able to find some way to still be effective with running that vertical offense, which is and also allow him to maintain his in integrity with being aggressive. That he came down here that he was aggressive. Fourth down or something, he'll go for it. Aggressive. But the deep route, that's what we thrived on back in Sean's early days, all the way up to 20 when Brees was throwing them 5,000 yard passing seasons. That wasn't based off of no 10, 15 yard out routes. That was he was getting some deep plays off from that. But now we're at the point to where he can't make those deep plays no more. But the thing is, with this situation, we have a guy that can make those deep plays. And the receivers I named, none of these receivers I listed was number one receivers. So just think how effective that was. And then the receivers we have now is capable of being, executing the vertical offense very well. We got Deontay Harris, the speedster. He is definitely going to be able to execute it well. Emmanuel Sanders, he's going to be able to execute it well. Traquan Smith can execute it, good. And Jared Cook going to be able to execute the seam route. The seam route, Jared Cook going to be able to eat that up. A deep seam route at that. He's fast enough. So we got the receivers to get back to being aggressive. But, it's gonna come down to him putting Taysom Hill is making $11 million this year and $11 million this year, if I'm not mistaken. It's no reason why this guy should be, getting a few snaps here and there. It's no reason why. There's no reason why. He got in the least amount is 5 to 7 passing attempts per game. And that's what we're gonna have to be creative with the deep ball. So basically, every possession, every series, Taysom gonna have to be in there at least one play. I mean, but I just hope I hope Sean first is gonna start with Sean. Sean gonna have to sit down and he's gonna have to, you know, I know him and Brees, they got that bromance. WD, on the pod, he was saying, they got that bromance going, but and that's true, but that's gonna have to, you know, that ain't gonna have to stop, but he gonna have to come to reality that you know we're not gonna get to the Super Bowl. And I said that if we continue playing this way, this win the division playing like this? Yes, it can. It can win the division. It can win us 11 to 13 games. It has the past few seasons giving us over 10 wins a season with the way we play offense with the Deacon. Don't, Breeze pinpoint accuracy. The thing is with my issue with him, these first two games, his accuracy been off. So if his accuracy been off, then that's a huge problem. And like I said, all that just come along with father time. But yeah, if his accuracy, if that's really what it is, what it's done came to now, then yeah, that's a huge problem. But I believe Brees when he said what he said. I heard him talking, in the press conference, So I'm gonna take his word, and I'm gonna believe he'll get his, accuracy back on point. But with that being said, it's still not going to allow us to make no moves in the postseason. So while we're here now, We allow the average, eh, the Raiders on the offensive side, the Raiders, they're going to be some dogs, down the road. If not this year at some point, but that defense, that was our average defense. And the way we play offense, the way the offense is designed to go with the passing part of it, it's going to make our average defense look good. Because Brees isn't going to go over the top. Breeze ain't gonna go over the top, so you can play safe. You can play safe, and you don't even gotta play honest. Playing honest means that you making sure ain't nothing getting behind you. You can cheat up, and you daring him. You taking a risk. You chancing Breeze to go over top because he can't do it. But get Taysom in there and let Taysom start. Don't and like I said, if the passes don't develop while he's in there, if they cover it well, then Breeze can take off. He can dump. I mean, not Breeze. Taysom can take off. Taysom can dump it off to you know, a running back. Whatever he have to do. But Taysom has to be starting to get involved in regular quarterback plays, not just stuff, not just the QB sneaks and stuff like that. Regular Drew Brees design plays. Taysom gonna have to start running those type. I'm telling you, and if it does not happen, we are not going. We definitely not getting to the Super Bowl, and we might end up getting it. And I'm just keeping it hot because we done seen this 3 times in a row. Our offense comes out lousy the first half, then we decide to wake up the second half. Other than the Rams game, but hopefully it's early. Far as the season, I'm not concerned about that. We took an L. We took an L. Let's learn early. Hopefully, that's being talked about. So that'll wrap things up. But will Sean convert back? I believe he will. I believe Sean is going to think this out and understand that he's going to have to go back to being an aggressive play caller. And one reason for that is Emmanuel Sanders. You're gonna have to find ways to get him involved, and he's known for running deep routes and stuff. So that's his bread and butter, to be honest. So you brought him down here, give him the place that he eat at the best, which is those type of routes, and let Taysom give it to him. So that's all I got. Who that nation? And once again, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I just wanted to get on here and chop that up. I think this is an important question, an important topic to talk about. But I will say this, let's not get to the point where we disrespect Breeze. Like I said, to me, this is more of being a father time. Even with his accuracy, that it's just father time catching up to him. So you really gotta start looking more at the coaching staff. Why you give them this big deal? Why, if you're gonna take it 1 year at a time, make that second year a team option, so we won't get cap hit. Even if he retire, we still gonna have a significant cap hit, whether it's in dead money or I know the dead money gonna be pretty significant, but it is what it is. Like I said, ain't nobody trying to count Breeze out. Breeze is definitely not going to sit on no bench. So who's ever saying that? Please do not say that. Again. But who that nation? I appreciate you for tuning in. Just remember to like, subscribe, and follow all of the WDN chat lines pages, the Facebook page, the YouTube page, and the Twitter page. And I'll see you guys on Thursday night on Madden versus the Green Bay Packers. This is the host CB, and I'm out.